Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by someone that has not been on this channel for a very long time. My good friend Harry Loomis is back. How's it going?
It's been going good. I think, it's been about 10 months since I've been on this channel, so good to get back on here.
It has been. It is good to have you back on. We'll have to make you'll have to make some regular appearances again. So
We'll do that.
so obviously, I think with tonight being Hall of Fame night, obviously I won't be covering it because I got some high school basketball I got to go do. But overall, three people are going into the Hall of Fame tonight. Of course, from the Pioneer class, it's Herschel McGriff, and then following in the other class, it's Matt Kenseth and Kirk Shelmerdine. So there'll be three members of the Hall of Fame in there. Of course, obviously, if you don't know, Loomis is a huge Matt Kenseth fan, and
Huge fan.
yes, yeah, that's why we had you. That's why we had you.
Uh-huh.
So let me get your reaction to this. What's it like to see the driver you grew up rooting for in the Hall of Fame?
It's kind of a surreal feeling. So, Kansas meant a lot to me. He's my favorite driver of all time. Is a huge reason why I'm so passionate about the sport today. But it's kind of a weird feeling because the way that he left, I wasn't quite ready for him to end his racing days when he lost his ride at Joe Gibbs Racing. I really thought he had a little bit left in the tank, but seeing that he was on the ballot this year, kind of seeing who else was on it, I had a pretty good feeling that he was gonna make it in on his first try. He did end up happening. It's a proud moment, Kenseth. I think a lot of people will tell he's one of the more underrated, kind of underappreciated drivers in recent history. I always say the two guys I think that are the most underrated in NASCAR history: Matt Kenseth and Terry Labonte. I think both of those guys don't get some of the appreciation that they deserve. But Kenseth kind of exemplified everything you want a stock car racer. He was clean. He got the most out of his equipment. He was respectful. He took care of himself and other drivers. Hearing the stories about how Mark Martin discovered him and how they have such a good relationship. Hearing Mark Martin say that Kenseth's his favorite driver of all time. That stuff's always been really cool. So I'm gonna be busy tonight too. I can't catch the telecast tonight, but it's gonna be really cool going back and seeing everyone Kenseth has to thank and everyone and everything he has to say tonight. I think it's gonna be really cool.
If you want to watch it, it's 8 p.m. on Peacock. Let's talk about the other Hall of Fame members. Of course, Kirk Shelmerdine is going in as well. Of course, for many people that do not know, I'm going to admit this. If you think I know a lot about the sport, this guy knows a little bit more. And also, my good buddy Jonathan Fiel, of course, he will be on in a few weeks. I believe we got to get the preview show going again. He'll be back on during LA Clash Week. But overall, just to see Kirk Shelmerdine in the Hall of Fame, that's got to be special.
Yeah, it's very cool. He was had a lot of success with Dale Earnhardt back in the 3 days back when they were the Wrangler colors when they switched over to Goodwrench. But yeah, another guy. Kind of crew chiefs. They're kind of hard to get really the love that they deserve. You always think of the drivers, but sometimes the crew chiefs, for all the hard work they do, they fall a little bit under the radar. So he definitely deserves this spot. He even ran some races. I think made the 2006 Daytona 500 or something like that too. So I know the guy that just completely exemplifies the term stock car racer and completely exemplifies what the NASCAR Hall of Fame is about. He's had an unbelievable career.
If you had Kirk Shelmerdine into the mix and making it at when he did it, and then of course Herschel McGriff made races as well. I think his last K&N race in like 2018, he was like 90 years old. He's going in the Hall of Fame tonight as well as part of the Pioneer ballot, and then of course the main ballot, which is where Kenseth and Shelmerdine came from. But overall, how exciting is it to see Herschel McGriff in the Hall of Fame tonight?
Yeah, another guy that just loves racing. Just it means the absolute world to him. I saw something on Twitter today. His goal is to run a race when he's 100 years old, which I think he's 95 now, if I'm not mistaken. You know what? If he's doing well, if he's healthy and everything like that, that's not out of the equation. So a guy that he made his living on the West Coast, ran a lot of races at Sonoma. I think at one point had the record for the oldest Cup driver to start a race, and I think that was about 30 years ago or something like that. And he's still kicking butt up on the West Side there. So it's a really cool moment for Herschel. Doesn't He kind of flies under the radar too. I think he was named one of NASCAR's 50 greatest drivers back in 1998, but he's had a fantastic career, so he deserves this absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, of course we got Hall of Fame inductions tonight, and then we got the season upcoming, and we know you. You have some interesting predictions for the season. We're gonna have you share some of them. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I always do my 10 predictions for the year 2022, and I got to say this year was the most difficult I've ever had trying to make them.
It's 2023 now, bud.
2023, that's my bad. Lost track of my years. But yeah, I think usually try to make kind of an order of how confident I am. Like some of the ones that I think of right away are my early on ones, and then number four, I always do the four crown jewels, which to me are Daytona, the Coke 600, the Southern 500, and the Bristol Night Race. That to me is the fourth biggest race of the year. And number 10, I always do most wins in a season, championship four, and the champion. I think the one that I'm most confident in is my first prediction, which is that I think Eric Jones will be a playoff driver this year.
I think so.
I think, yes, I do. I think that team got a lot better throughout the year. Jones was in a couple races that he had a shot to win, was leading in the last turn at Talladega, ran third at Auto Club, ran up front on the second Atlanta race as well. If he got a win, he shows that he can finish a race. He's done it in trucks, Xfinity, and the Cup Series with his incredible Southern 500 finish last year over Denny Hamlin. That team is going to get better. I think Noah Gregson's going to make that team better as a rookie. I think Jimmy Johnson's going to make that team better as a car owner and kind of an advisor for him. I think he's going to close out a race early in the year. I could see it being a super speedway race. I could see it being Darlington again. I could even see it being a mile and a half track. He did really well in the mile and a half throughout the year. And my second prediction that I did, I don't know if you know this about me, but I usually don't like to predict too much success for rookies. Like I didn't predict Austin Cindric in the playoffs last year, and I didn't predict a guy like Chase Briscoe a year ago, but I did predict that Ty Gibbs is going to win two races this year. And the reason being is because not only is he an incredible talent and incredible equipment, but I think for the sake of that team, I think it's going to be a real bad look if Kyle Busch does well at RCR and Ty struggles. I think it's going to be a really tough look. So I think there's a little bit of added pressure on him. You know, we know what you're capable of. You got to start showing it right out of the gate. Um, so those were my two predictions that I was really the most confident in. For my crown jewels, I actually went 1 for 4 last year. I was able to get Denny Hamlin winning the Coke 600.
Yeah.
I think my boldest prediction was the Daytona 500 winner. I think Chevy's going to get back in victory lane in that race, and I actually have William Byron taking the win.
Okay then.
I know you look surprised, but Byron's got to win at Daytona. He runs well at Talladega, won at Atlanta. I think Chevy's got the numbers this year, and I think it could be a battle between Hendrick, and I think Byron might be the most complete super speedway racer out of them. I think it's between him and Chase Elliott.
Yeah, for sure. So going in else talking about what do you think about Xfinity and trucks? What are we going to see in those two series?
Yeah, in those two series, I definitely think Cole Custer has to be the favorite in the Xfinity series. I think that was a good move. Honestly, he's not going to like taking a demotion, but I think for the longevity of his career, we got to remember he's what, like 24 years old, 25 or something like that. He's still got a long way to go. So it's not a bad idea to go, hey, take a step back this year. You run really well in Xfinity equipment. Go dominate, kick some butt, win some races, win us a championship that eluded you back when you were a full timer. I think he's going to be the guy to beat that year. I think we're going to see some good things out of Junior Motorsports. I like Brandon Jones over there. I think Sam Mayer is going to get a win or two. Justin Allgaier and Josh Berry are always going to be contenders. And I like RCR this year a lot. Austin Hill had a fantastic season last year as a rookie. I didn't have too high of expectations for him, and he definitely exceeded mine. A guy that struggled, couldn't catch a break last year was Sheldon Creed, but I'm still very high on him. We got to remember he went his rookie year in the Truck Series, went winless the next year, went on to win the championship and get 5 wins. I don't think we're going to exactly see that out of him, but we're definitely going to see a lot of improvement. At the very least, he's going to win and be a threat in the playoffs. And as for the Truck Series, I think the two guys that I have my eyes on the most for championship is Zane Smith once again, and I think Corey Heim is going to do really good things for Tricon Garage, David Gillen's team over to Toyota. I think both of them are going to lead the series in wins, and I really think at Phoenix we're going to be looking at them and guys like Ben Rhodes and Ty Majeski one more time duking it out for the championship.
Yeah, for sure. So, look, well, get your reaction to these latest two things. I know some paint schemes were released today. Of course, we'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah, your thoughts on how about this Daytona 500 field? It's gonna be jam packed. We got of course Jimmy Johnson's back. Of course, he'll be in the '84 car, so that'll be exciting. And then you got all these other guys that are going to be in there as well. So what do you think about this leading up to the 500? And then of course we'll finish it out with the Clash.
Yeah, I think first off, I think Johnson's Carvana car might be one of the most gorgeous I've seen throughout the offseason coming into 2023. That's a very clean looking machine for Jimmy. And, I'm not going to have too high of expectations for him this year, but I definitely hope he makes the race. And I think it's going to be really cool. 2311, that shocked me. Travis Pastrana was not doing very well back when he ran Xfinity. To see him come back and not only do a one up, but the fact that it's the Daytona 500 with the field this competitive, it's very interesting to me. But Toyota's done well at Daytona in the past. They're gonna have an alliance there. There's gonna be a lot of teamwork going on, trying to get a third 2311 car in, and I think it's interesting because I think that opens up the possibility of seeing Kurt Busch run a couple races just here and there throughout the year. Now that they have the third team, they're getting that developed. Um, but those aren't the only ones too. I think Chandler Smith is a really interesting addition to that field. He's never run a cup race before. He's just done part time in the Xfinity Series last year, going full time this year. But he's a guy that's got nothing to lose, and he's a pretty aggressive, willing to go for a driver. We saw Bristol back in 2021, what he's willing to do when he has the opportunity. I'm high on Chandler Smith. I think this is going to be a really good learning experience for him going into a pretty solid rookie campaign. But yeah, definitely one of the more competitive fields we've had in a while. I think it's something like 43 entries for only 40 spots. So the duels are definitely going to be very interesting. And that's what makes Daytona so great is when you have a lot of drivers with a lot on the line on Thursday.
What are we going to expect from the Clash in a few weeks?
I really don't know what to expect with the Clash. I got to be honest with you. It's still kind of almost a mystery event to me. But I do like that. I think they're running it at night this year. I think that's a better call. And I think you're going to see kind of the same thing. Going to be a little bit of beat and banging. Last year wasn't as clean as you would like. There were some accidents during the heat races. We all remember Kyle Larson, and Justin Haley. Tyler Reddick had some issues with he had something mechanical when he was dominating that race too. So I think we're going to see a little bit less of that. I think it'll be a pretty clean race. But if you want a winner, I really don't even I don't even know if I have a guess. I think it's going to be you're going to see some of the big guys. Joey Logano is going to be up front again. Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, even a guy like Kevin Harvick, I think could put up a pretty good fight. But I think it'll be a pretty solid race. I mean, anytime you see a short track race, it's going to be pretty good.
All right. All right, Loomis, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. We'll have you on again at some point, probably in the next few months.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch. I'll be on here pretty soon. So thanks for having me. It's been a good time.